Hey everybody, it's Jamie, and welcome to today's Dev Diary video where we're going to be talking about building out franchise mode. And as always, thank you so much for joining us for this series because here at Geeked-Out Basketball, we're building the ultimate deep tactical basketball simulation game. It's Football Manager for basketball because hardcore basketball sim gamers like all of you, you need your game too. Without further ado, let's jump in. All right, this has been quite the undertaking. We've had two pretty significant undertakings recently. Last week was getting the real-time clock, game clock and shot clock implemented, and then getting all of that synced to the back end. It's not perfect. We've gotten some feedback from some of you. I think some of you have noticed the shot clock is hitting 0 and then like 2 or 3 more seconds expire. We're going to get everything perfectly synced. That's going to be a lot of the tuning that's going to come once we get some of these other heavy lift components. But I want to get franchise mode out as quickly as possible. So let's jump in. I'll just kind of show you. We've gotten a lot accomplished so far. First of all, we have the league architecture in place. So there are 128 total teams in the high school sim that we have. Now, again, we're gonna build this out. So there's gonna be a college version and a pro version, and also versions where you can take those versions and then mod in your own teams. That's all gonna be part of the final product. But what I'm almost picturing, and not almost, what I am envisioning here is a 128 high school team league that feeds into a 64 team college league with recruits going from high school to college. And we're going to have conferences, that use normal college basketball structures. And then the college basketball can feed into a 32-team pro league. So you've got 32 doubles to 64, doubles to 128. I just like that symmetry. And so the way the 128 teams are structured in the high school league is we have 16 conferences with 8 teams each. And then we have 8 regions, which are 2 conferences. And that's all built out, and I'm going to actually show that to you. And then the way that works then is we've built in a tournament system that when we get this update pushed, I'll be honest, it's probably going to be early next week. What happens is at the end of each regular season, as you all have seen right now, you're going to have a conference tournament at the end of the season. But then what's going to happen is there's going to be, based on the winner of that conference tournament will qualify for the regional tournament, but also the regular season champion of the conference will qualify as well too. So you could have up to 4 teams qualifying for that little regional tournament. But one thing to note, if one team wins the regular season and the conference tournament at the end of the season, they're going to get a bye in the regional tournament. And then if the 2 sister conferences within a region both have that dynamic, it's just going to be one play-in game between those 2 teams. And then we're going to have the 8 regional winners are going to have an 8-team tournament for the national title. So that's ultimately how the tournament systems is set up that we have in here. We've also got a full national schedule in play here. So every team has 26 games. They have 14 conference games, a home and away against each of their conference opponents. They have 8 games against their sister region opponents. So 4 home and 4 away. And then there's going to be 4 out of region against anybody nationally. Right now, those are pre-programmed for you. But when we do get to the full version of this game, you're going to actually be able to schedule those as you want. So you can maybe schedule a home and home against somebody. We're also going to have some invitational tournaments and that kind of stuff that'll have some play into things as well. So the full dynamic schedule is not built yet, but the full 26 with preset games is. And then we've also built in the CPU team training logic, which honestly, it's these 2 components that right now are taking the most time. We got the team training logic in there, and then we're also building out the CPU team game simulation logic, because with 64 games in every week, there's 1 user game right now, and then there's 63 computer games. And so we need to account for game plans, playbook settings, and then do it strategically, right? So that's what we're building out right now. And then once we get through the game simulation logic, we're going to build in the end of season player aging and graduation. So your seniors are going to graduate, all of your freshmen, sophomore, juniors are going to level up. or age up by 1 year. And then we've got a recruiting system to bring in your freshmen. And I think we're going to have some transfers in there too. So there'll be some sophomores, juniors, and seniors in the recruiting system, and they'll be more higher immediate impact players. But then the majority of the recruiting is going to be freshmen. And we're building out a whole system for that, which I'll give you more insight into that once we have it launched. Hopefully that's maybe next Wednesday's Dev Diary video, but I don't want to overpromise. This whole building out the franchise mode has been super fun, super exciting, because I love these details, but it's been a lot of work. But let me show you, just kind of give you kind of a sneak peek right now. I'll just start a new franchise. Yes. And I'll choose, let's go with 4 corners. Why not? So some things that are coming to life now, this is starting to feel like a real basketball league. One thing to note, you're going to have slightly longer load times because we're loading data for 128 teams now, not 8 teams. We might put like some fun messages up here or something like that. But to start now, on the team standings tab in the Franchise Command Center, first of all, you're going to see you've got a prestige score and a national rank. And this is so if I'm starting 4 corners ranked 16th nationally, which is kind of a big deal. That's pretty good ranking. I'll give you scale on prestige. I think we're going to actually translate these prestige scores into letter values to kind of, A plus A minus, B plus B, B minus, rather than these nebulous numeric values. They're going to be numeric values on the back end. And the way you build prestige is obviously the best way to build prestige for your schools to win games. Like nothing's gonna drive more prestige than that. You're gonna lose prestige if you lose games, especially the games you should win. But there's gonna be other components. If you play higher profile opponents, then that win is and you beat them, that win is gonna drive more prestige, and that loss maybe will bring in a little bit less of a prestige hit. It might even, if it's a big enough game and it's close enough, it might even help your prestige a little bit. If you have some really all-star performers who are nationally ranked in terms of stats or anything like that, that's going to bring prestige to your school. And then there's other components as well, too. And then if you look down here, we have a standings tab for each region. Now, I'll be honest, I think we're going to start putting a lot of this behind links instead of tabs, because this is starting to download a lot of data for the Franchise Command Center, where I think if you link out to other pages, it's going to be a lot lighter download. That's UX stuff. But what's cool now, so Region A, remember every region has 2 conferences. In the system that we have right now, we might come up with more creative names, but it's just Region A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and H. And then every conference has a number between 1 and 16. And then it's like A1 and A2. And so you'll be able to kind of see how your sister conference is playing throughout the season as well. And you can look at their what am I trying to say here? Look at their roster. And you can kind of scout them and you kind of see their stats as they play their games. So it's going to be a lot more in between game scouting here. So look at this, just the back button back to the Franchise Command Center. It's taking too long to load right now. So we're going to really rework the UX a little bit on the Franchise Command Center so it's not such a heavy download. It's all these tabs and then all these tabs within the tabs. It's a lot. So, but you can kind of see Region B is conferences 3 and 4, C 5 and 6, all the way up to H has 15 and 16. So you can kind of have some fun, look at these teams, kind of see who you're going against. Roster tab, no change here. Team tab, no change here. This is still your team attributes and your breakdown of your plays, of your playbooks. Stats, no change here. These are your other, I take that back. There are changes. So right now you can look at stats on 3 levels at conference, region, or national. So conference is going to show you team stats and the conference leaders in each of these categories. The region is going to take it to a regional level, so your conference and your sister conference. And these are going to be populated with players. I'll be able to show you that next week too. And then national is going to show you national stats. And so you'll be able to sort all of these stats on a team level among all 128 teams. And then you're also going to have the leaders, national leaders in points, three-pointers, rebounds, assists, blocks, steals, all that fun stuff. So pretty excited about this. Let me scroll. A lot of data here, a lot of stuff here. Schedule, you're going to be able to, right now we just have the schedule for your conference. So you'll be able to take a look at that. Like for example, I'm Four Corners. It looks like I'm opening up with 4 conference games, 5 conference games. Then my first non-conference is a sister conference game against Casino Row. Kind of another sister conference game here. Here's a national game. So I'm against DeLand. You can kind of get in here and play around with things, get to know the teams. Team traits. You can see how your team ranks on a traits level from a conference, a region, so having the sister conference in here, or a national perspective as well. And you can do the full sort here. It's pretty cool. You can see who's the top team in the nation when it comes to shooters, right? And I'm like overall, I think Bentley Truman's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're the 6th most talented team in the nation. So they're pretty tough, but they're not the best. They've got some pretty tough competition. Recruits, we're going to rework this. We haven't yet. This is still just the 40 recruits. We're going to have a whole national recruiting system, and that's going to have things in play where each recruit's going to be based in a region, right? So it's going to take less recruiting effort to recruit a player who's in your region. But if a guy's good enough and you want to go after him in another region, you can go for him, right? And we're going to have some other features to the recruiting system here as well, too, that I'll share with you in a bit. Tournament's just the postseason tournament. And then this one's fun, too, so rankings. So you got 2 tabs here, the top 25 or the all 128. And what we do is for your conference, the user conference, we show the teams who are ranked in their primary colors. So it's kind of cool. You see Bentley Truman's ranked 7th in the nation, Four Corners is 16th, Lancaster's 18th. So those are the 3 teams from my conference that are ranked in this one. By the way, these are going to be mixed up a little bit every time you start a new franchise. And then ideally, like when we get the season graduating, you probably won't be starting new franchises anyway, right? You're going to keep graduating and starting new seasons within the context of that season. And rankings are going to be determined by the players who are on the roster, the recruiting, the prestige, everything else. But you can also look at all 128 and kind of see like where are the rest of our teams. Okay, so Morristown is ranked 37th. Little York is 51. Ocean City's 48. So 6 of our 8 teams are in the top 51. South Lancaster 64, right in the middle, literally right in the middle. And then I'll bet Xavier's pretty low because they're a pretty freshman-laden team. Where are they? There they are, 117. So again, you can kind of like track all this and see how well your players evolve, that kind of stuff. Unfortunately, so we got the training system built. Unfortunately, we don't have the computer simulation game system built yet, so I can't play you a week yet and show you all the stats ranked. But that's going to come in the next video. Who knows? Maybe I'll even do a bonus video. No promises, because we are freaking coding the heck out of this thing. But at the latest, you'll get to see some of this next Wednesday. And then also, I'll keep you posted, but a heads up, I'm actually moving at the end of next week. So that might just put a slight delay in some development or a video the following week. There's definitely going to be a video next week. I'll let you know next week the likelihood of a video the following week. I think it'll happen, but I just want to keep you all posted. So yeah, that's everything. If you are interested, if you haven't registered to play the alpha, we've got a few more slots left. We just sent out like 5 more codes this morning for new people who have discovered the game and want to play it. We got a few more. So if you're interested, there's a link in the description below, geekedoutbasketball.com. You can request an alpha or access code there. And as always, I really appreciate you taking the time to watch the video. Every time we put in more of these features, we're getting really excited about this game that we're building. And I've gotten a lot of great feedback from all of you. One of you had a great point that we're working on about you really want to be able to persist your playbook settings so you don't have to change those every time. We're working on that. persistence has been a thorn in my side, but we're close to getting this nailed. And also we're gonna do a playbook overhaul at some point, because the way to build playbooks right now isn't very intuitive. And we got a lot of pretty cool ideas to make the whole playbooks component of this just easier and more intuitive to use. So yeah, as always, thanks so much. I really appreciate each and every one of you that's watching these videos and is here with us on this journey. And I look forward to sharing updates with you next week. Have a great week, everybody. Bye-bye.